This meeting is being recorded.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Today, our group will discuss about interesting topic. This is issue and challenge of Islamic finance and banking in Indonesia and Malaysia. Will be delivered by my group, consists I, Rizky Andrian, Abdullah Muhammad Al-Kamal, Muhammad Yunizar, Arif Febriansyah, and Muhammad Rizky Fadilah. Okay, next slide. The first part is introduction. The Islamic economic revival focuses on norms of justice that seek to create a fair and balanced financial system. This revival has fueled the development of Islamic financial institutions such as Islamic banking, insurance, and investment. Islamic financial institution growth rapidly, and the regulation making an important role to the development of Islamic financial institution. Besides that, Islamic financial institution like Islamic banking face a serious issue and challenge, and we will discuss about it in our presentation. Okay, next slide. Before we talking about the issue and challenge of Islamic banking in Indonesia and Malaysia, we will talking about history of Islamic banking in Indonesia and Malaysia. Will be delivered by Mr. Rizky Fadilah. Time is yours.
All right, thank you very much. I will continue to discuss the history of Islamic banking in Indonesia. So in Indonesia, we have three phases of the development or history in Islamic banking. For the first phase, it can be called by ideation in 1930s. So in this phase, early theoretical discussions by scholars and ulama in the 1930s highlighted the idea of establishing an Islamic bank in Indonesia. These discussions became the foundation of thinking for the future development of Islamic banking. And then for the second phase, it can be called by preparation and establishment in 1980s to 1990s. So in this phase, the political climate in the 1980s and 1990s supported the establishment of Bank Muamalat Indonesia in 1991. This political support allowed for the creation of conducive environment for the development of Islamic banking in Indonesia. So Bank Muamalat Indonesia is the first Islamic bank in Indonesia. And the third phase, it can be called by maturation in 1992 to today. So for this phase, the establishment of a legal framework that supports Islamic banks has a major impact on the growth of Islamic banking in Indonesia. This framework ensures that Islamic banks can operate with clear rules and in accordance with Sharia principles. Okay, next. Okay, for the history of Islamic banking in Malaysia, early development. So the Malaysian history of Islamic banking and finance can be traced back to 1963 when the government established Tabung Haj, the Malaysian Hajj Pilgrim Fund Board, to assist Muslims in Malaysia. The Tabung Hajj continued to help Muslims wishing to perform the Hajj in Saudi Arabia. Several organizations advised the government to open a fully Islamic banking institution during this period. In 1980, 1981, the government finally agreed to establish a national council and authorized 20 professionals in the field to study the concept of how to develop an Islamic financial institution or Islamic banking in Malaysia. So in July 1983, Malaysia established the first Islamic bank, namely Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. So for the current status, Malaysia holds a leading position in Islamic finance as reflected in the State of the Global Islamic Economic Report in 2024 rankings. Malaysia is a leader of Islamic financial institution in the world. The country continues to see growth in Islamic financial products and services, demonstrating its commitment to developing the sector. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we're talking about the first issue and challenge of Islamic banking will be explained by Mr. Ari. Times is yours.
Okay, thank you, Syam. Thank you very much for moderator. For this time, I would like to discuss about the Sharia compliance issues, especially at the Sharia and Sharia Supervisor Board. So we can divide into the two sector. The big sector is mean that the issue is all about the funding of the Islamic banking and then the financing of Islamic banking. The first is I will talk about the issues on the funding. The first issue in funding is about the concept of mudharabah. It means that in the mudharabah concept, the fund provider, supplier, are all necessary fund. While the entrepreneur or mudarib provide the project and management, the application of this concept in financing product is still not quite correct, because buying customer would deposit in there are numerous, even reaching hundreds of thousands, which mean they're not feasible for financing buying the bank. The second, revenue sharing. That means that mudharabah shipping product are shipping based on the profit sharing concept, meaning that if the bank makes a profit in its operation, the customer will only share on the profit. But if it not occur of loss, they will also be lost. The second issue is about the rational Muslim attitude. What is it? Islamic bank customers are referred to rational Muslim because they found a negative correlation between interest rate and public deposit in Islamic bank. So how about the solutions? So there are many solutions for these issues. So the first is customer would deposit in their fund, particularly in the form of saving, or promise is returned in the form of profit sharing from bank profit. Conceptually, it means that there should be an agreement between the customer as the funder provider or Sobil Mall and the entrepreneur as the mudarib. Where the customer provide all the fund and the mudarib only provide the project and the management to ensure that mudarabah financing align with the original concept. The bank that accept deposit from Sohibul Mall should create the agreement very clearly state in the saving book or deposit certificate. So this agreement would specify that the depositor collectively provide financing to mudarib customer chosen by the bank. Thus, this group of customer become the Sohibul Mal, and the bank as the intermediary to find a trustworthy mudarib to be the financer. So for how about the issue in the Islamic bank financing? The first issue is distorting in profit margin based financing. Profit margin based financing refers to murabahah financing, where bank provide financing to customer by purchasing goods they need and selling this good to customer with the add percentage of the purchase price. In the practice, super distortion causes the financing to be perceived as replacing interest with profit margin. So why it can happen? Because the first reason is deviation in contract. The second reason is determining profit margin, and then the effective of profit margin, higher cost, violation of Milquia condition. So by the profit sharing based financing should be the primary financing method in Islamic bank. Yes, that's what I said before. This is all about the risk aversion and the profit risk calculation. So the solution for this issue, especially in the financing in Islamic bank, the issue in Islamic bank, especially those using the profit margin concept, are complex. As the type of financial lead many to view Islamic bank as the similar to conventional bank. Therefore, bank management must be cautious in the offering profit margin financing and minimize its use if possible. Separate solutions can help Islamic bank address various distortions in financing, such as the first is about the avoiding contract deviation, and the second are determining profit margin, and then the third is installment calculation. Also, addressing the perception of higher cost, and for the final is about the risk management in profit sharing management. So I think this is for me. So I giving back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rizky. Next. Okay, next again. Okay, and for this issue and challenge will be explained by Mr. Kamal. Time is yours.
All right, thank you for the time. In this occasion, I will explain about the human capital and IT issues in the Islamic and finance banking. The first about the human capital issues, as we see in the slide, there is issue in the human resource or human capital in the Islamic finance and banking. The first issue that Islamic finance and banking face is a shortage of the expert. This issue come from a problem that there is a high churn rate of the employee in the Islamic financial and banking companies. Let's say in the Indonesia case, there are so many employees in Islamic finance and banking that resign before 5 years in the company, and they then will change the career into the conventional financial and banking institution, or maybe even outside the Islamic or finance and banking institution. And by this high churn rate of the employee, it create like a condition that there is no expert left in the Islamic and financial and banking institution. And also, the second issues is about the information and technology. It is more about the infrastructure and the security thing. The first about the infrastructure that in information technology in Islamic financial and banking institution is there is still lack of proper infrastructure in this IT system. Let's say in example, I was work in Bank Rakyat Indonesia, or BRI in Indonesia, that has a dedicated building of 11 series building, that every series of floor is a dedicated for technology team, and it's almost like thousands of IT employees in our IT staff in BRI. Either it's on site or it's a remote job. And compared to BSI or Bank Syariah Indonesia, this IT division is not that big. The problem is the Bank Syariah Indonesia has less fund or cost to distribute to the IT development. So that's why the Islamic financial and banking still lack of proper IT infrastructure. And also about the security, as we know, like 2 or 3 years before, the Bank Syariah in Indonesia was attacked by a hacker group that it impacted to their system and it blocked their mobile banking system, and it make the trust of the customer on Bank Syariah Indonesia who's attacked by the hacker is dropped because the security is too bad and the hacker can penetrate to their system. And this is become a really crucial issue since the human capital and IT is like elements, important elements of Islamic financial and banking institution, whether it's in Indonesia or in Malaysia. Okay, next is about low market share and asset value.
Okay, next issue is low market share and asset value. If we talking about the statistic, Indonesia market share for Islamic banking and also the asset is still relatively low market share and asset if we compare to conventional banking. This indicate a major challenge in increasing public acceptance and market penetration of Islamic banking. And the serious challenge is about the market penetration itself. The factors such as a lack of public awareness, negative perception, and limited access to Islamic banking product are hampering market share growth of Islamic banking. So the Islamic banking needs to address this barrier to increase their market penetration. It will increase the market share, and after that will increase the asset value of Islamic banking. Thank you. Okay, next. The last issue is about the public awareness and education. Will be delivered by Mr. Nizar. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you time for me. I want to explain about public awareness and education issue. This is the problem for the ICE in Islamic banking, Indonesia and Malaysia. Yeah, low public awareness need for education and outreach. Low public awareness, the benefit of Islamic banking is major challenge. Comprehensive education and outreach effort are needed to increase understanding and acceptance of Islamic banking product and service. Yeah. Initiatives such as educational campaigns, workshop, and seminar maybe can help raise public awareness. Utilizing different media platform can also reach a broader audience and advocate for the advantage of Islamic banking. Increasing public awareness is crucial for the growth and acceptance of Islamic banking. So next slide. Yeah, we have a recommendation for this issue and challenges in Islamic banking. We have 5 recommendations. The first, enhancing Sharia compliance, increasing market penetration, improving risk management, developing human capital and IT, and the last, raising public awareness. So the compliance framework, we propose developing comprehensive guidelines, conducting regular audits, and implementing extensive training program for staff, ensuring our financial product and service comply with Sharia principle is essential for maintaining trust and integrity. To boost market share and penetration, we have recommend focused marketing campaigns, forming strategic partnership, and creating financial product. This effort will help attract wider audience to Islamic banking. For risk management, adopting sophisticated tools encouraging diversification of investment portfolio in internal control are essential. Effective risk management will ensure the sustainability of Islamic financing. Therefore, investing in human resource development and IT infrastructure is crucial for supporting the growth of Islamic banking, specialized education and training programs, enhanced IT system, and ongoing research and development in Islamic finance will help build a competent workforce and improve operational efficiency. And finally, we propose an educational campaign to enhance public awareness and understanding of Islamic banking, broader audience, and promote the benefit of Islamic banking. Maybe that fifth recommendation from us to issue in Islamic banking. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the last is conclusion. To ensure the sustainable growth of Islamic banking, it is essential to address the identified challenges systematically by focusing on Sharia compliance, risk management, market penetration, human capital development, and also the IT and public awareness. Islamic banking can overcome this current issue. And we believe the Islamic banking sector has significant potential of growth. With the right strategies and investment, it can expand its market share, improve its product offerings, and become more competitive in the global financial landscape. Every challenge presents an opportunity for innovation and improvement. By leveraging the challenges, Islamic banking can develop more robust and attractive financial solutions that meet the needs of a diverse customer base. I think this all for us. Thanks for your nice attention and apologies for any mistakes. See you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Initiating through educational campaigns, organizing workshop and seminar, and using different media platform, we will help reach a